So, new report came out. Hulu will release a docuseries covering Bill Belichick at North Carolina. So, Front Office Sports reported this. A docuseries featuring Bill Belichick and North Carolina football is slated to be released on Hulu. Talks between Belichick's Tar Heels and HBO's Hard Knocks previously fell through at the last minute. This is now happening. The big part is, okay, why does this work? Right away, so the production company's in charge of this. It's called Everwonder. There had to have been a broker deal where Belichick's like, I want creative control. You get that to an extent with Hard Knocks, but you don't have the full-on say. I bet Belichick's like, I want to see what is aired. I want to see how I'm portrayed. He wanted influence, and there were the reports on Hard Knocks fell through because his girlfriend, Jordon Hudson, she wanted to basically have the creative control over it.
Yeah, well, she's probably the one who wants to sign off on it.
She probably brokered this deal for all we know. She's like, hey, Bill, so this is what we're doing. He's like, all right, sounds good.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing. Like, I think regardless whether or not, I know some people are saying like, oh, I'm not interested at all. Like, you're interested.
I'm interested.
Everyone's interested. Regardless of whether or not you want to put your emotional attention to it, people are going to want to see it and check it out because, you know, take the Bill Belichick side of it. It's a UNC. This is a championship school. Like, they win in every sport, okay? Yeah. Regardless of what it is. So I think it's great to get the inside scoop just to see, oh, I like their facilities or, you know, whatever it is. Like, people just want a glimpse into what it looks like to be a part of a big-time program in a big-time school like that.
Yeah, but the Belichick part adds to it. Like, it's okay. I'm 1,000% invested and interested in what he does this season from the football aspect. If he's winning, how is he winning? How is the team looking? If they're losing, is it in the margins? Are they not prepared? Do they not look like a college team? In a way, does the offense look behind? Is it like all of this matters? And we'll see what we get because, again, he has to have a substantial amount of creative control over this to be okay with it. What is Belichick like behind the scenes? We see the clips all the time, him talking to the team, what his message is. What was the one? It was right after the 18-1 season in 2007. Their first day back. It might have been that or it might be before they kicked off the undefeated season. The team either won a Super Bowl the previous season or just lost. And Bill basically, like the talk to the team was like, whatever happened, this is the new season. And he broke out his rings in a way and was like, this doesn't matter. It's what you do next. I'm interested to see that. There's always, we know what we see on the field. For the guy that, you know, the art of war and how his approach is to the game and how great of head coach he is. What is that mental approach like from him? Like, that's why I'm interested in these series. And it adds to it. He's 73. How is he interacting with a 19-year-old four-star? A 22-year-old transfer portal kid that's getting $1.2 million a year. How is he reacting and working with these guys?
Right. It's a totally different situation, the NFL and college. These kids are students. And, you know, maybe that discussion is different now that all the NIL is here and it's really kids, more though. So like a, right, they're kids. Even though it's looking more like professional sports with all the money, they're still kid and you're still young and you've got school and you got a social life and there's all these different things that are part of just college. So it's also how are you going to lead these men, young men, and just all the extra factors that come with it.
Yeah, and that's part of it too. Yeah, it's like there still are students. It's whether they get paid or, and they were getting paid before in football. It just wasn't out in the open. It's that these are still people that are 21, 22, and they haven't seen a lot of like life, you can say. There's like the jump I made when I graduated college at 22 to when I was living on my own in Missouri for 3 years, and I was like 27 when that wrapped up. Like, yeah. Age 25, 26, 27 for me was much different and more growth. And that's what you get in the real world. It's still college on the campus, but this is also a guy that is a savage with roster decisions, right? With football decisions.
That wasn't the word. I haven't heard the word savage in a minute, but I love it. You're so right. That's exactly what it is.
Let's bring it back.
I saw a recent photo just with him with all the rings. Where was it? Was it at the ESPYs?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, come on. That is just absurdity.
And the way you get to that point, it was him of like iron fist. It's how he ruled as a head coach. And now he's going to have to figure out how you can manage younger kids. And again, too, 21, 22, making around $1 million, maybe $500,000. That's so much money at that age. So it's again that there could be certain egos, there could be certain personalities. And how do you manage that? Because he brought in a $20 million NIL budget for the team to UNC. That competes with Texas, like the top schools, Georgia, Alabama, LSU. That's what they're putting out in Ohio State on their roster to compete. So you're going to get those types of guys. All right, how do you manage them? Again, young, making a lot of money. And for him, how does he adapt to? And recruitment, all of that day-to-day.
Well, that's it, the recruiting. And that's probably why he was okay with doing this, because we saw how he was with the New England Patriots, and we saw how he's been throughout his career. He doesn't like to talk to media. You're not winning any more games in the NFL if you open your mouth, right? In college, it's a different situation. high school players are looking to these college coaches. Is that who I want to go to school with? Is that who I want to lead me? Is this a person who I think is going to help me take my career to the next step and also grow as a human, right? And so he knows that in order to get that money, he needs to talk and he needs to show personality and he needs to be out there and be a voice. And I do think that his year doing media between coaching definitely helped. You know, you get involved with Pat McAfee a little bit, he's popping on different shows. I remember the first time I saw him on some shows, I was like confused that was him. Like, is that Bill Belichick talking?
Is that AI?
Right? Is that AI? It felt like that. But I think in some regard, the recruiting portion of just being a college football coach is a huge factor why he has to open and up and talk.
It also, I think that's what leads to him actually doing this docuseries of creative control. He's getting paid. Like UNC, him, they're getting money for this. That's why he's for it. But it is, again, he knows how he will be portrayed to an extent. The big part of the documentary that was put out on the dynasty, and it was a production company, but like owned by the Crafts, or they were, executive producers on it. They controlled the narrative. Like we saw the way Bill Belichick, the way they covered the Aaron Hernandez whole saga. It made it seem like Jonathan Kraft was the one that made the call on to cut him, and whether he did or not, but the way that they were talking about Bill and like taking away parts and what they're using to the presser, he knows if you're on the other end of it, you don't have the creative control. Like you're at the mercy of the EPs, the executive producers. He's now in that chair, and I think that's what's big. I wonder, how much Bill do you think we get, though? Do you think it's still like the Belichick of press conferences? Because he's in college now, the recruiting matters. Do you think we get more personality from Bill?
I don't know about the personality. I think he's going to stay consistent in who he is. But I think if they're allowing them to go in and do this documentary, I think they're just going to follow him into spaces that we haven't seen. Maybe we'll follow him into the gym. Maybe we'll follow him into the sub shop that he likes. Like, I think that's the part that people might just be like, Bill Belichick in a different environment. I was at the Super Bowl this February, and I was working out. I was on the bike, and in walks Bill Belichick, nobody else. And I wasn't like trying to check out his workout or anything, but I was just interested to see him in a non-football field environment. I was like, this is crazy. He's got his iPad out. What's he reading? Like, is it Netflix? Is it film? He's head to toe in UNC. Like, I was just so intrigued to see. Oh, it's hilarious. He was right in front of me, and it took me a second.
You have a Sharpie, like highlighter with him taking notes.
And then no, he wasn't doing that. But I was more so intrigued. Not that it was like Bill Belichick, but I was like, this is Bill Belichick in the gym. Like, I was just intrigued to see him in a different environment. So I think for people, they're just going to enjoy finding him in different settings.
I wonder how much it is on Bill, and that is a question too. Like we bring up what his girlfriend is, but she's big on like his marketing and like how he's put in the public spotlight. Okay, so how much is it Bill the head coach? How much is it UNC? Or does it end up becoming a Bill and Jordan doc? Because
are we going to get those like solo shots where they do their little discussion?
I think we will.
It'd be so interesting.
And that's the thing too. And like, does it teeter on? Is it closer to Hard Knocks? Or is it closer to like Real Housewives of UNC? Because that's where it very well can go too. But Bill Belichick's a headline that gets people to tune in.
She's got great outfits. So
you can't rule it out.
She's got the style.
A lot of lobster, a lot of main plugs. I'm interested in this, how much Bill we get, and how I'm thinking of the last doc, like the wide receivers doc. I enjoy it. I do get oversaturated like football content to an extent though. So it's like I'll get 2 episodes in, I'm like, all right, I'm good, because it's just like another Hard Knocks. With Bill, it's like, all right, how many episodes are you hooked? Is it right off the bat?
But that's why it's nice, even with the wide receiver and in the quarterback documentaries, to have the wives and to have them be interviewed. And maybe even too with Jordan, like it might give you another side of Bill that you've never seen and give that perspective. I know I recently saw a clip that Kirk Cousins had done, and it was his wife speaking. And she was giving the perspective of when he came home and they realized that they were going to bench him. And I was like, oh, that's a really unique perspective. And it does add that non-football environment piece to the documentary. So, yeah, I think it'll feel like a little bit of both.
No, I like that part, that like behind the curtain, the home life. It's cool to see that access. What I'm saying is like, it was just the straight up wide receivers. Like it was being football. I'm like, I'm good on football content on this, But to add to that, I do like to see it all the time too. It shows him as a person. And that's a great thing. Like, does Bill let the cameras follow him home, follow him? To your point, the sub shop. Like, how does he interact with people that are making him the sandwich?
Whatever sub shop that is going to be blowing up.
Good for them. Good for them.
Good for Chapel
and that's
Hill.
a Bill Belichick boost in the local economy.